Hey everybody, welcome back to another reaction video. This one is Tim Dillon, You Should Have Kept Your Mouth Shut. Interesting title. This was recommended by a viewer like you, so if you have a recommendation, leave a link or description or title or whatever down in the comments below, and I will react to it. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel please, I appreciate it. And the link to the original content on the clip channel for Tim Dillon will be in the description below. So let's get into this. FYI, it is audio only, so there isn't a video. No, your computer or phone is not broken. It's literally just a still image that's going to be on here. But yeah, let's get into it.
Showed me a video. It still sits with me. And can we play the audio?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'll put the audio in right here.
Are we allowed to put the audio in?
I wonder if it could get flagged, especially this early in the episode too.
I'm
putting this audio in.
Really heinous. I mean, not a lot of stuff rattles me, and this rattled me. It's a murder, double murder, suicide in Philadelphia over the shoveling of snow. I guess there was a couple, and they were using a snowblower, or
Not
they were
surprised it's
using
Philadelphia.
shovels.
Shovels, yeah.
And they were shoveling snow onto another dude's driveway,
onto his lawn.
onto his lawn.
Yeah.
And they were at war.
Yeah, this has been removed from Twitter now. If you're trying to find it, by the way.
And it's a video of the guy, and they're calling him. It's a couple, and they're like, "What are you gonna do, pussy?" And it's like
Okay. Anytime that gets brought up into a conversation, it will either be a fist fight, or in this case, I guess, a double murder.
scene from Fargo. I don't know, because it's snowing and it's just blanketed with snow, and then the guy comes out of his house. The guy that the couple is shoveling the snow on his lawn. They're calling him pussy. What are you gonna do, pussy?
We're gonna make your life a living hell.
We're gonna make your life a living hell. Yeah.
First off, shoveling snow on somebody's lawn should not be a fight, because there's probably snow on the lawn already, so it's just adding snow to snow. As long as they're not putting it on like his driveway that he already shoveled, I don't see the issue there.
When you say something like that,
those are fighting words. Those are fighting words.
Those words. We're gonna make your life a living hell. And he leaves his house.
What are you gonna do about it?
Both in the street. They're crawling around in the street. Then he goes back into his house. What does he get? An AK-47?
AR-15.
AR-15. He comes back out, and he looks at the woman, and this is where I even as I talk about it, it's creepy. You're watching the end of somebody's life. He looks at her and he goes, "You should have kept your mouth shut." And then he shoots her in the head, and then he goes and shoots the husband.
It's like movie style.
It was so viscerally disturbing.
That is so like Hollywood style, like having the last word, like having a pithy comment to say, like, "You should have kept your mouth shut," boom. Or, "Make my day," boom.
And I'm usually not disturbed. I usually don't watch executions all the time, but I've seen things.
It's a good way to live.
I'm still, this video, for whatever reason, lodged in my head. And it's because I'm horrified watching it. You get a bad feeling. From the moment the video begins playing, you know something very bad is going to happen.
It's probably super gray day, I can almost picture it. He's describing it well. I can almost picture it. It's a gray day, snow covering everything, people bundled up. Almost like the movie Four Brothers, if you've ever seen that.
It's eerie. Usually you don't feel that, but from the minute it starts playing, you go, this isn't something fun. This doesn't end in a fun, this isn't a snowball fight. There's something about, I don't know what it is, but there's an energy there. You go, you know this is going to go off the rails. You don't know how bad it's going to be. And then when he comes out and he shoots the ball and goes back in, gets an AR, then comes back out and shoots her. And here's the thing, and then he kills himself, right?
Goes back inside, the cops come, he blows his head off. Yeah.
And
standard.
Here's the thing, right? You watch this guy shoot a woman point blank in the face in the middle of a street with an AR-15.
That's pretty rough. That's hardcore.
And right before he shoots her, he says to her, he goes, you should have kept your mouth shut. And you're watching it, and it's so horrifying. But now I have to be delicate here.
It's a pretty good line.
But
I will say that.
3 little letters. What a word. But she should have kept her mouth shut.
Oh, God.
And the last things she's going to hear on this earth is the greatest lesson she'll ever learn. And it's sad
that
it had to be that way.
The whole thing's tragic, obviously.
Actions, but there's something.
I mean, that's
about
solid
shooting
advice.
Someone point blank in the face and deliver.
That's super solid advice. You never know who you're talking to or who you're, walking up to, or who you're talking back to, especially. You've got to treat everyone with kindness because you don't know what kind of person you're dealing with. Obviously, they thought, oh, maybe there'll be like a fist fight or something, or maybe we'll just call each other names like we usually do. But man, when somebody snaps, or maybe they're just on edge already, and you push the buttons, you're asking for something tragic. I mean, certainly it's not their fault, but damn, you've got to treat everyone with respect. Because you don't know. You really don't know. So just err on the side of niceness.
Bring a message that they need to hear. It's tough to watch. You can probably find it on the dark web or something. It's floating around.
The dark
You don't even
web.
have to go to the dark web. It's tough to watch. I don't even.
You can buy some drugs and get some escorts and watch the video.
Know where Ben finds these things. I don't know what he even does. I don't know what he does with his time.
It's not hard to find
When
fucked
he's
up
not
things
with
on the
me,
internet.
I don't know what he does. He just sits in his garage and watching people murder each other. What is wrong with him? But I felt bad that it ended the way it did, where everybody died. But I did feel that woman needed to hear, and her husband, it's not about gender, that woman needed to hear those words. And it's sad that after that he shot her point blank in the face with the AR.
Yeah, it's not a good day.
It's hard because you watch it and you just you watch the video and you go, well, number one, how's the quarantine working out for everyone?
Right.
Because this might have happened before the pandemic or before this, whatever. It is a pandemic, but I mean before this shutdown. I don't know. This last year has sent people to the edge, to the brink. And when you watch this, you go, yeah, this seems to be something.
Well, yeah, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people cannot handle a loss of that kind of social life and, staying indoors a lot, especially if you super panicked and you never went outside for like a walk even. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people that got broken from the past year.
That is the result of people being pushed to their breaking point. and he broke, and he shot this woman and her husband. Watching them crawl around on the snow is...
Plus, we have no context as to what led up to that. It might have been multiple occasions where they were egging this guy on and trash talking him and calling him names. What are you going to do about it? Da, 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 da. Eventually, people will snap if they are close to snapping or you build it up enough.
So rattling. It's disturbing watching them crawl around
for a good 60 seconds. As
they
he's going
crawl
inside
around
to
on
get
the
gun.
snow.
Yeah.
Watching that is really, really disturbing. But
these butts are hilarious.
They were being very antagonistic. They were. This is the thing. It's you.
Shoveling the snow on his lawn or in his property, that's antagonistic. Saying, what are you going to do about it? That's antagonistic. Name calling's antagonistic. Yeah. I mean,
they're
just
saying
bad
to
moves
the guy,
all
gonna
around.
make your life a living hell. Call him pussy.
That's never a good line to say. That will make somebody snap.
Pussy, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he just had it. I'm not saying I enjoyed watching it. It disturbed me. I've covered that. But what I'm saying is that it's very difficult to not understand a fraction of the man's anger. He did not handle it in a productive way. You know,
Not very productive, no.
I was taken
Not humane.
back. Like I've watched videos that are similar to that before. Never that I found like this freak, but people show me shit. I go, look at this. I go,
that's
ugh.
funny.
You know, and this really took up mental residence in my mind because it was just this snowy, bleak day in Philly, and people, it was just hatred on display. Like
those winter days, if you're in the Midwest or the Northeast, I mean, they are brutal. Brutal. It's gray days, day after day. It's super bitter cold. You got to deal with putting on more clothes. You got to deal with breathing in the cold air. You got to deal with trying to drive in the snow. It's miserable. Miserable. All of it.
Scene out of Fargo, like the end of Fargo, it was rough to watch.
It's probably why people move to California and Florida and Texas.
Sad, truly, about the future of humanity and about the effects that this period has had on everybody. But
yeah,
I did.
It's not over either.
Shot in the face because sometimes you do want to shoot somebody in the face point blank. And when he looks,
can't say I've ever gotten there.
You should have kept your mouth shut. And she
That's
knows
such a good
what's
line.
coming,
That's a
and
tragic
she knows
yet
she
great
pushed
line
the
at the same
wrong
time.
person. And she's laying in the snow, about to get shot in the head. This episode will get lighter. But as she's about to get shot in the head, she's laying in the street. Probably what went through her mind is, I should have kept my mouth shut. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. And
what is that Bill Burr line of, you never feel good about a fight after you've been in it? When you're on the drive home and you got punched in the face, or you got a concussion, or your bell's rung, or you got a, banged up nose or something like that, you look at yourself and you go, I could have handled that differently, or, I probably shouldn't have said that last thing.
it's, hey, sad all around. Not advocating it. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't advise it. Tough to watch. Not good.
Yeah.
Don't go look for the video.
I bet
it
it
will
is.
be disturbing. Unless you're into that, in which case it's great. If you're into it, don't get into it. Don't be that guy. Unless this is how you come. And try not to be that guy either.
Sometimes you just need a little extra, right?
The video, because you're the one who fucking brought it into my life.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, I think I've been quite clear here. It was a mixed bag.
It's like this weird like Norman Rockwell scene where it's just a couple shoveling their snow, and then all of a sudden, like within 30 seconds, they're both laying in a pool of their own blood. It's just, I mean, it's horrific. It's a horrific thing. All caught on the. By the way, the video's from one of
Was
those
it Ring?
doorbells.
Like
The-
a ring
yeah.
cam.
A ring cam, yeah. And then halfway through it too, their autistic son runs out, the couple,
Oh
to
no.
check on them, and then when he sees him coming back in with the AR-15, he runs off.
Oh,
and then that's
God.
when he does the execution shots. So there's like a whole scene developing there of them trying to help the mom and him trying to help his mom and dad.
They're
and then the
parents
guy just
too
comes back out
of an
and
autistic
does the
child.
deed.
Oh my
Well-
god.
I'll tell you one thing. That kid's not going to step out of line. You
That's
know?
so.
You want to talk about a polite kid? You want to talk about a polite kid? I watched my mother get shot in a grill for running her
Oh my
fat
God.
mouth. And I've learned to just
Or that kid's gonna turn into Batman.
let it happen. Let life happen. And I feel bad for him. And I feel bad for everyone involved here. But is there any better way to ensure that somebody is going to be, a little passive? I mean, by the way, those parents were no great shakes for that kid. I'm not saying they should have been executed.
Clearly
in
not a
front of
good
him,
influence.
but they were not. That was not going to be a great life with them. You know?
No. If
Maybe
they act
there's
that way,
family, maybe the grandparents took him in. I
No.
read in the article.
Mm-hmm.
Better situation. Better situation.
it's good, at least.
Do you think in that
In
woman's
a
high school
twisted
yearbook,
kind of way.
she was voted most likely to get shot in the face outside of her house while shoveling snow? Because that should be a new category in Philly high school yearbooks. It should be most likely to get shot point blank range by an AR-15 by an
Oh my
angry neighbor
God.
who you are harassing. It would be so much easier to feel bad for them if they weren't like, pussy, what are you going to do, pussy?
Yeah.
That was their whole thing. They were like, what are you going to do? You do something about it.
He did something.
They were just like, do something about it, do something about it, do something about it. And then finally the guy snapped. What's interesting is he shot them both. He comes out with, a handgun?
Yeah, with a 9mm.
And he shoots them and goes, that's not enough. And you watch the guy crawl into the garage. Again, very disturbing. And then he goes back in the house. And you think the video's ending because she's like, call the cops.
Right.
And you think, oh, the video's ending. And I got to be honest.
There's a problem with that, right? Call the cops. They're not going to get there in time. They just won't. At most, you'll bleed out, and hopefully they get the guy who did it. But they're never going to be there when you need them to be there. They're going to be there for the aftermath.
As a video, as a piece of media, as media, it's disappointing.
Unless you come up with
Because
teleportation or something.
It doesn't feel like there's closure. I'm being very honest. The guy crawls into the garage, and then the woman's like, call the cop, and she's still being annoying. She's shot and in the street and still pushing everybody's buttons.
Oh
And
my
you're like,
God.
This needs a resolution. And then he comes out with the AR, and a part of you goes, oh no! But then a part of you perks up because you go, just a second ago, I said there was not going to be a resolution here. Now I think there might be. Ooh, and there is. And there's something about the final words. There really is. And again, if you know these people, I mean, sorry. There's something about the final words. You should have kept your mouth shut. He goes, you should have kept your mouth shut. He says that to her, and then he just blows
That's
her head
such a good line.
off. And
That's such a movie line.
then he shoots the guy. Then he walks into the garage and gets him. We don't hear if he said anything to him. I don't think he did. Because it's like, it's hard to follow up. You go, you should have kept your mouth shut. Boom. And then you got to have a real good line. And now, if you don't have Joel and Ethan Coen doing it like Fargo, you're not going to have a good line for the husband. I mean, he could have said something like when he walked into the garage to the husband, he could have said something like, I don't even know, I'm on the spot now, but if he like looked at him and he was like, I don't know, like time for you to join your wife or something, something. I don't know. I'm on the
What's
spot.
a good line
it's
there?
hard.
Yeah, like a rotten hell really wouldn't work. That doesn't
No,
follow.
not after.
Not
the
after
very
that.
succinct. There's no fat in that sentence.
It would have to
You
be
should've kept
like.
your mouth shut. There's not one extra
There's
syllable.
no fat in
It
that
was
sentence.
succinct. It was
The
clear.
perfect
The
sentence.
message was delivered with precision.
That's a good one.
Well, the shots were as well. But to the husband, he probably walked in there and for a split second was like, "Do I have something good for him too?" And then he was like, "I don't," and I just got to shoot him. So he shot him. It'd be great if he just had something good, But those guys at Philly, he'd get hacky. He'd be like, "Say hello to my little friend," like something hacky where you're like, "Oh, this is disappointing." That's the thing about Long Island. Any
Trying
of
to
my
come up
friends
with something
who will
that's
certainly
good.
do this. I know people who will definitely shoot
Like,
people in the face, probably over shoveling snow. But the last thing they say to them will be such a hacky, dumb,
oh God, what's a good one?
derivative line from like Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Like they will say something that has nothing to do. They'll do a Jim Carrey line from The Mask. They'll be like
Smoking.
Somebody stop me.
Yeah, somebody stop me. Like it will be completely cartoonish and embarrassing.
Somebody.
And then my friends won't kill themselves because they don't have that level of intelligence. So then the cops, they'll have to play out in court what they said. And there'll be like some guy that was like going, like some neighbor that was like, "Yeah, I think he yelled, 'Say hello to my little friend.'"
Something like "Finally, some peace and
And
quiet."
they're like the line from Scarface.
That would be.
Yeah, he
That might
yelled
be a good
that,
follow-up.
And then he shot her in the head.
Finally, some peace and quiet, huh?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, he
I
said
think that would-
nobody puts baby
I
in
can't
a
even come up
corner
with a better line.
and then shot her in the mouth. We were confused. We didn't know how the original argument started. No, nobody I know from Long Island would have like to just say you should have kept your mouth shut. It's a real movie quality line.
Like
to
I said,
deliver.
man, movie quality.
I am judging this only as media, as content. I am not saying murder is good. I am saying as content. As content, because I'm a consumer of content, as we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And when Ben showed it to me, I said, "Well,
Absolutely.
this is content. It's content. It's a double murder suicide." He said to me, "It's a double," he warned me, "It's a double murder suicide in Philadelphia over snow shoveling." But then I settle in.
Such
and
a
then I go,
dumb
"Okay,"
argument.
But I'm still expecting it to be good, right? I still want it to be good. And it was good because you think it ends and it doesn't. He goes back in the house and then he comes out and he has the great line. So as content, and what is it, 3 minutes?
2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's perfect.
Perfect for Twitter.
Yeah.
Perfect for Twitter.
Yeah.
2 minutes and 20 seconds. Perfect for Twitter. Whoa. And of course for IGTV. You put it on IGTV with a nice cover photo of the guy standing over the woman with the AR-15. It's content, folks. Don't get sensitive. I'm looking at it as a piece of content, as you should. And that guy then goes in, and how does he kill himself? What did he do?
I think the AR-15 just in the mouth. Yeah.
Wow, because he didn't want to go through the trial.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to go through the whole thing.
Makes sense, right?
It's getting bad out there. It's been bad out there.
Yeah, it's getting bad out there, and crime rates are up, which is just awful. But man, what a he said he brought up Fargo, and he brought up just the overall feel of it. You can almost picture it. I was literally sitting here like picturing like the crawling on the snow, and oof, that sounds brutal. Brutal. I would never actually want to see that video myself. I would like to have at least a shred of humanity left in me. Or a shred of like innocence, I guess. But that's brutal. Thanks for the recommendation on that. That was entertaining and sad. It's definitely sad. It's tragic that people would resort to fighting over snow. Snow melts, man. It's not even permanent. It's just they put snow on more snow. Hey, why are you putting your snow on my snow? It's not any of your snow. It's from the sky. It's ridiculous, man. As always, Tim Dillon's take on this was hilarious. Just thinking about the content version of it and the story. That was a good line. That was a very good line. You should have kept your mouth shut. And I go back to what I said earlier. You've got to treat everyone with respect and kindness, because you don't know who is on the other end of that brain. Oh, God. It is... You're messing with fire when you go off on people like that. And they found out they shouldn't have done it. And then, especially for the future of their child... I can't believe those are parents. Good grief. It just goes to show not all parents deserve respect. Wow. I feel terrible for that kid, though. Anyway, if you have a recommendation, leave it below. If it's more stuff like this, good. If it's the video of this, keep it to yourself. Like the video. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Also appreciate that. And I will see you on the next one.